Hi there, I am Peggy from Custom Art, and today I am doing a daisy. So I'm going to start out with painting the edges. So I did prime it, but right in these areas it is not. So I like having two coats. So I'm going to get in here, and also it kind of gives me to be able to get some of the color in here. My main colors are the white, a little bit of island blue, and then use a tad of black, and only to get a gray on it. But I want to make sure that these edges are very well coated because we don't want any of the wood showing. I don't like raw wood showing. It also helps protect it. So I'm going to go all the way around. I don't know if you can see that even though there's one coat on there, it's still kind of hard to paint. So that second coat will make the surface nice and smooth. There's like a fuzzy in here. Let's get that out of there. Come on. Oops, sorry about that. Forgot to turn my messages off. Let's hope it don't buzz too many times. So I'm just picking up a little bit of the island blue, but I will be going over it again. And this, again, this is just a base coat. I do have a turntable underneath here, or a Lazy Susan. Makes it easier. And then I got my phone. Another fuzzy. What the? Can't leave fuzzies in there. So for all my door hangers, I take a small roller and I roll on a base coat. Just makes it go a lot faster, but you can't get in these cracks. You still need a paintbrush to get in there. I'm sorry. Nobody ever messages me except for when I want to record. So the middle part, I just used a pot that I had sitting here and I drew the circle. I see another fuzz. Took a pot, drew around it with a pencil because markers and like pens, they tend to bleed through when you're painting. And I got this Lazy Susan right at Walmart. It's not an expensive one. And I absolutely love it for the door hangers. So usually on daisies they have a little bit of black in them. So I am going to add a little bit of black up into here. So I'm going to use a different brush. I usually do multiples when I do these. And then I use separate brush so I don't have to clean it off. And I can keep going. So I'm going to get a coat of yellow in here first. And this is just a school bus yellow. And then I'm going to dip into my black here because it actually goes around like this. And it's going around the larger petal. So now I'm going to go back and add a more defined part here. And I want to leave streaks in this. You don't want to do too many. I don't know if you can see that I'm leaving marks in it where there's two colors. We don't want just one. We don't want it just straight. Petals usually don't have a straight to it. So I am gonna try and give it that look being rounded. Alright, now that that is done, I'm going to go back and I'm going to try and get into a little bit of that black. And if it starts to dry, I'm just going to add a tad of it. Don't really want the yellow, I just want a little bit of the gray on the edge, because that's what's going to define the edge of the petal. And if you're getting yellow into it, just stop that petal and go on to the next one. If you like the yellow in there, you can keep on going. And if you have problems, you can always go back. You can let it dry and go back. Because once it's, if you don't like it, just let it dry. You can go back and paint over it. But you gotta get those streaks in there. I personally like a little bit of yellow in there because the centers are very yellow. If you wait, if you were to paint the blue and then the center and wait and come back, you would not get the same effect. Even with, like now my blue is starting to dry, so it's not completely streaking. So I am going to add a little blue in. It's those under colors that I'm going over that's giving me another color into it. See, like there, it was dry. So I'm going to pick up a little blue, put my blue into it a little bit. And I want a little bit of black, so I'm going to just do a very little corner here. And streak that in there to define the edge of the petal. And here we are at the last one. And mind you, I have done hundreds of daisies. I'm also going to have the sunflower. That's the next one that's going to be coming out. I'll be recording that right after this one. It's kind of like this, basically the same. You less streaks. The less time you go around, you'll get the streaking in there. And you'll get your colors that you like. If you keep going over and over and over, it takes your lines out. And it turns into one. Just one. So then I'm going to look. Like here, I think it could use a little more white. So I'm going to just highlight it just a little bit there. And then I don't know if you noticed that, I did that and look, a little bit of yellow came out of there, which I really like. Right here, I think it's a little bit. So I would just kind of look around. If they're getting really dry looking, I wouldn't touch them. I'd wait for them to dry and go back, because otherwise you can get like dry streaking, and you don't want dry streaking. So now I'm taking my yellow and I'm going to lighten it up quite a bit. And I'm going to just, this is an older brush, And you can see it's got a big hole in the middle where there was paint left on it. There's a little black in there. Let's get that off. And I am gonna just go around. So this is layering. Don't worry about all these edges here. It might look kind of funky right now, but we are gonna fix that. So now we have another layer of yellow. So now I stuck more white in here. And I am gonna do this good amount on there. And I'm going around just the edge of this. And try to get right along the edge some of a circle. And I got a little bit here, but that's okay. We will sweep that in. Oops, now I got too much in there. But once again, you don't want to take away all of the undercolors. We want to layer it in. You want to leave some of the other colors peeking through. And now I'm going to go where there's a little bit of blue, a little bit of white, a little more white in there, I think. And there it is. There is my daisy. So I will let this dry, and then I'll do probably 2 coats of clear, and then as soon as that's dry, the next day I flip it over, paint the back, put a hanger on it. But here is my daisy. Thank you.